This. This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of changemakers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
Hey, welcome to our live stream here at UNCG. My name is Serena Crosby Brown, and I'm a senior here. I'm studying Human Development and Family Studies with a concentration in Child, Youth, and Adolescent Development. I'm also from Kernersville, North Carolina, so I'm not too far from my campus and not too far away from my mama. So I'm also joined here today by my colleague. So this is Maitland.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maitland. I am an out-of-state student. I am a junior here at UNCG, majoring in communications with a minor in sport coaching. A fun fact about me, my name is made up out of all my siblings' names. I'm so excited for y'all to be here.
So now we are going to have a talk a little bit about Minerva, since she's right behind us. She is the goddess of wisdom. As you're probably wondering at home, why are there apples all over her? Well, that's a great question if you were asking, because the tradition here is that you take a big old bite out of that apple and place it as an offering to Minerva so she can bestow wisdom upon you for your next quiz or an exam. Now, if you have any questions throughout the tour, just make sure you go ahead and text that number that's on the bottom of your screen. And we will see you at our next stop. Yay! Yay! So this is the EEC, the Elliott University Center, excuse me. It's the Elliott University Center. This is our student unit. It has some really great resources that are located in here. Most importantly is our career and professional development office. You need help with your resume, your cover letter, or you just want that beautiful free professional headshot for that job that you're really looking for, that internship that you're really excited about it. That office is really amazing. It'll help you through that process. Also, I know that you smell that chicken. Well, you can't, but that's okay. That's because we have our Chick-fil-A that's located in here, and it also works with your meal plan. So that's a really great option for you. We also have that Starbucks. We have a food court, which is completely separate from our actual cafeteria. So you have multiple options on our campus for you to choose from. And we have our Spartan Market, which is basically like a gas station without the gas. So if you need that quick Snickers bar, you can go ahead and grab in there. Or if you want sushi, I know I do every Wednesday. That's where I go and grab my sushi right before I have class. We're really, really excited about this. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next stop. you for joining us. We had a little quick walk over here so we could show you right here to the nursing instructional building. This is our brand new building on our campus, and we wanted to stop here so we can tell you about our academics that are on our campus. Yeah, you got a little sneak peek of what it looks like. So on our campus, we do have about a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we do have a classroom size of about 27 students. So we like to keep that really tight-knit classroom environment for our students, and that is one of the best things that I love about this campus. Also, part of our academics is that we are 20,000 strong. We love it. And 16,000 of those students are going to be a part of our undergraduate level students, with 4,000 being more of our graduate student body. And we're looking to see if we have any questions here. And if you do have any questions, please text that number on the bottom of your screen so that we can see that and answer anything that you have any questions about. Now, we are going to go inside. Just give me one quick moment. I have to mask up. You have to make sure that you wear your mask in all of our inside buildings. So let me just grab my mask real quick. So I've got my mask, and we're gonna go head in. So follow me on head in.
Woo, UNCG! I love this building.
So we're taking a walk around. We do have some students already taking classes. So we are going to be a little bit quieter in this section. So if you don't hear us talking, that's completely okay. Just take a look at all the beautiful stuff that's inside of our building.
Are we still frozen?
Alrighty, so you got to see some really amazing stuff inside of our nursing instructional building that just was finished, completed with our construction this year. So extremely grateful for that addition. Now, if you're thinking, well, that's nice, but where do I get help for my math or any of my papers or any of the speaking classes that I have? Well, that's a really great question. We do have a speaking center on our campus that will help you with any speaking oral presentation that you have. They will go over the entire video with you, or they will sit and listen to you give your oral presentation and then help you make it the best presentation that it can be. We also have a writing center that's going to work the exact same way as our speaking center, just with all of your written components. I absolutely love them because I'm terrible at grammar. So I go into the writing center and they kind of help me critique all of my grammar issues to make sure that my paper is up to par. Another thing that we have on our campus is the math center. And I love that place because they're the only reason why I got to be in my statistics class. They helped me through all of my homework. They sat through and worked over every problem with me to make sure that I understood everything about that class, so I was good to go on test day. We also have tutors that can help you through any of your classes that you have on a 100 or 200 level classes. And if you're like, what is a 100 level or what is a 200 level class? That's a really, really great question. A 100 level class is usually going to be that first year class that you take. That 200 level class is going to be a second year class that you take. So we do have those here, and we do have tutors who are always available to help you. So if you have any questions, they're always available through Zoom, walk-in, or just send an email. We have all the help for you. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about our library, so follow us on.
Before that stop, I am going to talk to you a little bit about our Julius Faust building, which is right behind me. This is home to our study abroad. Something really cool about this building, though, it is actually still the original from when the school opened up in 1891, excuse me. It's super cool. This is home to all of our study abroad offices, any advisors you want to talk about with that. We do study abroad for semesters, summers, spring break. It's really awesome. And so what it is, something cool about our study abroad is you can still be enrolled here, but be doing your classes at an institution there. It's just a super cool opportunity. And another thing is the cost of tuition here is the same that it would be over there. So our study abroad is really just unlike any other. Now that we are done with our Julius Faust stop, we are going to talk about our library. Come on. just got back. Just a quick little walk. Behind me is our UNCG library. So this is kind of a bigger stop. So I'm going to break it up into a couple sections. The first section is going to be Charles Duncan McKeever. This is the founder of our school in 1981. Something cool about his statue is he's here. He also has another statue in our capital of North Carolina. I also like to add something about his statue is that it is a little bit Photoshopped. They say that he was much shorter and a little bit more plumper. But all I'm saying is if I had a statue made after me, I would definitely tweak it up a little. Behind that is the library. It's kind of split up in between two things, you know, the bricks and the stacks. I'm going to talk about the bricks first, starting with the basement, which is our DMC, otherwise known as Digital Media Commons. Down there, anything virtual you can totally take advantage of. Say you need to do a speech. We have green screens you can use. We have projectors you can use. If you like making music, you can make a song down there. If you just like VR, which is virtual reality, we have things that you can do that with. It's super cool resource down there and it's all free for students. As you come up on the ground floor, we have a super lab. Super lab is home to so many computers, more than you can count. In addition to that is our printer. Here at UNCG, every semester, each student is allotted $3 in printing money. That equals out to about 75 pages of free printing money. So that's super cool. If you run out, you can always add more money up there. But if not, it does roll through the next semester between fall and spring. Also, as we go up to the stacks is the really tall part of the library. It's about 9 stories tall. They say as you get higher, it gets quieter. And so UNCG is very inclusive with the styles of learning. Everyone learns differently. For me, I cannot do homework with my friends, but I also can't do homework in super quiet. So it's super cool about this is as you get higher, it gets quieter. They say the very top floor, you can hear a pin drop and your heart beating. There's actually people on the top floor that monitor up there to make sure that it is quiet. But as you get lower, there's some more noise going on, you know. We actually have spaces that groups can rent out, like cubicles or rooms. And within those rooms, there's whiteboards, there's TVs with HDMI cords that you can hook up to your computer. There's a lot of resources. Other than that, you know, our library has over 1 million books. And so there's plenty of things to choose from here. It's a super awesome resource. And I am always in this library. I didn't think I would be, but it's a great resource that we just really love. This is all for the library. Don't forget, if you have any questions, text that number at the bottom of the screen and we will definitely be happy to answer. We're going to go to our next stop, so follow me.
So we always want to talk about this. This is College Avenue. So as you can see, I'm walking on it, freely just walking. That's because this is the only spot on our campus that you can freely walk without having to be worried about cars coming by or anything like that. You can walk, bike, skateboard, and we even have some rollerblading students, and that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So they go ahead and walk on this. The only vehicles you will see, though, are going to be only UNCG affiliated vehicles, so you're completely okay to go ahead and just take your stroll. Or sometimes your professor's like, come on, let's get out of the classroom, let's have class on College Avenue. So you do have some little incentives for that just while you're on this avenue walking to your classes. It is a little bit bare, but that's okay. That's because all of our students are in their classes, hitting them books, and ready for the next day. So come on, and we're going to show you what our honors college is about. our Lloyd International Honors College that's on our campus. Now, the Lloyd International Honors College is a really, really amazing opportunity for our students. It is also a secondary application process. So once you get accepted into the University of Greensboro, a separate application will show up if you meet the requirements for you to go ahead and apply to the Lloyd International Honors College. Now, if I keep saying international, you're probably like, why does she keep saying that? That's because there is an international component woven into that program. That means that while you're inside of the Lloyd International Honors College program, you are required to go ahead and study abroad. And as Maitland said earlier, why not study abroad? We do that exchange program. So you're going to be over there at that institution that you wanted to go to, like in Estonia, like I wanted to go to. And then another student from Estonia will come here and take their classes right here. And when you're in that honors college, they help you through that process because it's part of their requirements. Now, if you're like, hey, Serena, I don't know if I really want to study abroad, that's okay. We also have the disciplinary honors portion. So you won't even have to have that international component woven in. So there's a little bit for everyone in the honors college. Now, if you're just like, hey, Serena, honors college just doesn't sound good for me, international or otherwise, and that's okay. I completely understand. That's why we have our residential colleges. These residential colleges are really amazing because they focus on 3 separate different things. We have strong, which is going to focus on sustainability. We have Ashby, which is really awesome. We have one of our tour guides who is also in Ashby, and he absolutely loves it. And he's been in there for 4 years. So you can definitely be a part of that program. And it's a living, learning community. So you're in there with other like-minded individuals and going through the process of college all together. We can completely understand how college can be a huge adjustment, which is why we have these different programs woven in just into the residence halls so that you are feeling comfortable while you're sleeping in your residence hall. You have someone to study with. You have someone who's going to be actually taking classes with you right there inside the residential hall. And if you're like me, you want to sleep in your bed as long as possible. So why not be able to roll out of bed 10 minutes before class and go right downstairs to go ahead and take your classes. Now, again, go ahead and text that button at the bottom of your screen if you have any questions. We're more than happy to answer them. And just give us 1 second. We're going to walk over to our next destination.
Hello. Okay, so now that we came from the next stop, I just wanted to talk a little bit about our music building. Even though you can't really see it good right now, it is located behind these buildings. You can walk down this walkway right here as you see students doing that right now. They're walking down. Over here, we do have residential living spaces, residence halls, and there is a parking deck. But our music building is super cool. They actually have their own library too. So if you're coming here for music major or minor or just interested in just learning more about it, you are perfectly okay to do that. I want to talk about a little bit about our arts around campus. So it's a big broad thing. We actually have a theater, which is located on 10th Street, which is down this road that you can see next time when you're on campus. It's really cool. They put on productions there, all different types of ones all year round. You can actually participate in it, even if you aren't a music major, you can try it out and be in the play, theater, whatever like that. We also have some residential colleges that do put on things like our residential college Ashby. Every year around Halloween time, they actually do their own haunted house, and it's super cool. All the residents in the building dress up and they go around scaring people if you want to be scared. They go around scaring people or walking around campus, and they do their whole building. It's kind of like a haunted house thing, and it's super cool. And that's just some examples of how the arts around campus at UNCG and where our music building is. So our next stop is going to be the CAF, where we're going to talk about our cafeteria and a little bit about some traditions here on UNCG in terms of our clock and our rock. See you there.
Wow, you're back. So what Megan alluded to a little bit was the rock and the clock. So right behind me, you're like, why is there that pink rock right there? Because that's a really great question. That is our rock. It stands for really awesome way to communicate with the K. And that is just our school bulletin board. Right now, one of a student or organization on campus, because we really don't know. It could be a student on campus, organization, or someone who just wants to say happy birthday to their best friend. They can put whatever they want on that rock, and they can do whatever they want for 24 hours. But here's the catch. During that time, you cannot put anything that is offensive or profanity on that rock. You want to make sure that everyone's going to be able to consume that information, that message that you put on there, without feeling offended or without being like, oh man, that's not really nice. So you can put anything you want without giving someone that feeling. Now, those two small rocks in the front, that's where you put the date and the time that you spray painted or painted your rock, and then no one can come for another 24 hours to go ahead and put their message on there. Now, the next is going to be the clock. Now, with the clock, we do have a little bit of superstition here. As you can see, some of the students are making sure they're giving a wide berth around that clock. That's because the saying goes, if you walk underneath the clock as a student, you will not graduate on time. And who doesn't want to graduate on their graduation day? I know I do. Mine's May 6th, so I will not be walking underneath that clock anytime soon. Now, the other tradition goes that is your parent or your guardian walks underneath that clock and the student will live with them and depend on them until they're 35. No way. I want my own space. So I have to tell my mom, no, lady, you do not get to walk underneath that clock. So we do have those two options. And Maitland's going to talk to us a little bit about transportation, how that works on our campus. Come on, Maitland.
Hey, okay, so a little bit about transportation is something really cool here at UNCG is we do allow first year students to have their car on campus. I'm an out-of-state student, so that really helps me. A little bit more about our transportation is behind me. You can't really see it, but we do have a cul-de-sac, which is kind of like, with Campus Loop, that's where a lot of our buses come and go. In our app, our UNCG app, you can track our buses. Our school bus is known as the Spartan Chariot. There's a bunch of different chariots that go all the way around, and you'll be able to see their the loop that they're going on. It'll take you to places all over campus, even to the gym, over to the apartments. It's super cool. In addition to that, we also have our heat bus, which is super cool too. It's all free. You can get on the bus. All you have to do is show your Spartan ID. That'll take you to places off campus too. I stay in an apartment off campus, and I always see that heat bus coming and picking up people and bringing them to campus. In addition to that, we also have the Greensboro City Bus, which is also free. You just have to show your Spartan ID. That'll take you to places locally here in Greensboro. I've also heard that it takes people to airports if you need that too. So that's a little bit about our transportation. I do want to add that there's plenty of parking spots all over campus. There's a bunch of lots, but there also are 3 different parking decks that you can park your car in, that it has some type of, closure, has some shade for your car and everything. And that's all up to you, whether you want wherever you would like to put your car. So, and I'm getting a little bit hungry now, so let's talk about our next stop.
Wow. Wow, got you again. Now we're going to talk about that dining experience on our campus. Right now we're at Marin Common, or the Fountain View Dining, which is where I like to call it because I like my landmarks. Someone say, hey, Maitland, meet me at the Fountain View. They're just like, oh, that's where the fountain is. And say, hey, Maitland, meet me at Marin Common. She's like, where, Serena? I'm like, okay, it's the fountain. Now, we also are going to break this up into 2 different stops for you. We have the bottom of our Fountain View Dining Hall, and we have the very top, which is where the cafe is, where that food that Maitland was definitely talking about. So Maitland's going to go ahead and break down what the bottom of that Fountain View Cafe has, and I'm break down what's on the top of that cafe option for you.
Okay, like Serena said, we are going to break it up into 2. I'm going to start off talking with the bottom of the cap. I'm going to start off with some construction that we have going on. And when you do get here on UNCG, hopefully that construction will be done. It's supposed to be done by spring 2022. So the 2 constructions that we got going on inside the building is, one, our soon-to-be Panda Express. Super good food. Within that Panda Express, we are going to have 2 types of vending machines, which will be open 24 hours. One is a salad vending machine, which is fresh salad made. And another one is going to be a pizza vending machine that you can literally get fresh pizza made however you want, whatever. I'm super excited about that. And it's 24 hours, so that's really fun. To add on to the construction, we also have an esports arena being built, and that's super fun. If you don't know what esports is, it's basically just all the virtual video games from, 2K, Madden to Mario Kart, everything for anybody, And even if you don't like, playing, there's going to be spaces for people to watch, and it's going to be super cool. I'm really excited. Aside from the construction, we also do have our business center. Within our business center, Serena actually works in that. She has another job in our business center. That is where you can get your cards, your Spartan cards made, which is your student card. That just lets you know that you are Spartan here at UNCG. You'll use it to get into residence halls, but you'll also use it to swipe into the CAF. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. But with the swipes. Next to our business center is our mailing. So we have a place to mail out and we have a place to mail in. If you live here on campus, you're going to be given an address on campus where you can send and receive mail. Even though I don't live on campus, I can still come here and send out mail. I cannot receive it, but that's okay. When I did leave here, I did. It's super fun, super cool. Inside the mailing, there's boxes, envelopes, free tape. It's a bunch of stuff that you can use to send out stuff. It's super awesome. Another thing is our Spartan Market. And like Serena was saying earlier, it's kind of like, a gas station without the gas. I really like it. There's a lot of, a few essentials that you'll definitely need and snacks and food. Inside there is also a substation that is new. I'm excited. I haven't tried it yet, but I already know it's good. It's super fun. So that's a little bit about our lower half of the calf. And Serena's going to go ahead and talk about the upper half. My favorite part.
Yes, and I have tried the substation. It is delicious. Try the Cuban the next time you're on campus. Very, very great. Now, as we go up into the top, I always like to stress this, really, really stress this, is the fact that we have a little bit for everyone, which is what our Super 8 is. This is a really, really great option, especially for vegan, vegetarian, ovitarian, pescatarian, or you have any food-related allergy. Can definitely go to the Simply 8 and they'll make sure that you can still eat. We also have a rooted station, which is plant-based options, and I can attest it is delicious. I almost was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which means that I couldn't really eat heavily, and the plant-based is awesome, awesome option for me. Also, when you go around in that, we will have a pasta station, so delicious. We will have a pizza station. My favorite station is the dessert bar.
Oh, yes.
We had lemon bars today, and they were so good. Just the right tangy and sweet mixture. Also, we have the Mongolian grill. Oh my goodness, it is really, really good. And if you want that, always go to Bok Choy. And that's where you're going to get that Mongolian station. It is so, so, so good. Also, today is Wednesday, which means it's Fried Chicken Wednesday. So at our home style station, we had that fried chicken option, as well as a baked chicken option, mashed potatoes and gravy, corn and green beans. So all of that good home style food ready and waiting for you when you come into the calf. We also are going to have the kitchen. I love this because they have not one, but 2 waffle irons. Woo! So I can go ahead and mix my blueberries, or if I want a little chocolate that morning, I put some chocolate chips in the batter and I go ahead and make me a nice waffle. Really, really, really good. And we have syrup and butter options available. We even have bagels. We have all the different kind of milk to meet your dietary needs. We also have coffee and tea and a lot of different cereal options available as well for you in that dining hall. We love the dining hall. It's really amazing. Now, Maitland was kind of alluding to earlier, your swipes. And that was a really great thing. Your meal plan is going to consist of 2 different portions. You have the swipe portion, which swipes you into the calf every time you want to go. And if you're living on campus, you are required to have a meal plan. But you don't have to eat a meal plan if you're not living on campus. And the really awesome thing about UNCG is that we do not require our first-year students to live on campus. That decision is completely up to you. Now, when you are living on campus, you are a first-year student, there are going to be 3 different types of meal plan options available to you. And they break down between that swipes into the calf and flex. And if you're like, what is flex? That's a really great question, because flex is going to be, like I like to say, a debit card that you can't take money out of. You're going to have a separate amount put on there, and that's where you can go ahead and swipe that flex at that Spartan Market, so that gas station out the gas, the Chick-fil-A, the soon-to-be Panda Express, the Sally the Salad Robot vending machine, the pizza vending machine, our food court, and even that tropical smoothie right by the gym to get you every time. I love that place. So we do have those options for you on our campus. If you have any questions about how our dining works, or you just want some more clarification on how that meal plan is going to be set up for you, go ahead and text the number at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, especially if you just need some clarifying answers. We can understand that dining can be a really, really big thing. We're here for you to go ahead and answer those questions. So, and we're going to go next to our next stop. So go ahead and keep on texting, keep on thinking about those questions. We'll be happy to answer them. Come on.
So like Serena said, we're going to talk about our next stop, which we're going to hit on security and athletics. So to start off, I'm going to talk a little bit about security. I don't know if you've kind of seen throughout this tour already a bunch of these big blue towers with some lights on them. Well, this is a part of our UNCG campus security. We have over 150 of these all over campus. Super cool precautionary, just in case, you know, of an emergency. There's 2 buttons located on this pole right here. We have an emergency button, which when you press that, an officer will be to your location between 60 to 90 seconds of you pressing it. In addition to you pressing it, someone will come on the speaker and ask you, are you okay? They will ask you, what is your emergency? They will just keep talking with you until someone does get there. In addition to that emergency button, we also have an information button. When you press this information button, someone will still ask you if you are okay, if you have an emergency. That's just in case you meant to press the other one. But even if you don't have an emergency, it's okay. Press that. And if you have a question about where you are, you're not sure, hey, I'm not sure where I am, they'll answer it, no problem. So in addition to our security, not just the polls, we do have within our UNCG app is our Live Safe app. Something that's a really cool source that we have here at UNCG. An example of what that Live Safe app does is, say I'm at the library and it's like 3 a.m. because our library is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Say I'm at the library, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, dang, I need to get back to my dorm, but I'm kind of, I'm a little scared, even though UNCG is very well lit at night. It does get it can be, whatever. All I would have to do, I can request a buddy to come walk me. So what that means is I would request an escort and a police officer would come escort me from the library to my dorm. And so that's all free. And that's just a really cool source. Another thing we have with security is that you can send your location to someone also through that Live Safe app. So say I'm walking my dorm and I want Serena to know where I am. I can share my location with Serena and she can watch me walk there. And also with that, if I need to make a tracking, I can say that I'm walking from the library to my dorm and the app will give me however long it'll take to get there and the directions of how. If I get off of that path of directions, or if I don't make it there in time and I'm really late, it's going to send an alarm to my phone, be like, hey, are you okay? Hey, you're taking long. Hey, you went off track. And if you do not reply to those alarms, then someone will be sent to your location, a police officer, just to make sure that you're okay. So remember to turn that off if you do use it. In addition, one last thing about our security, like I said, UNCG is all about precautions. We have all these security measures, just the precautionary measures. You never know. We are in the middle of a really major city, especially with a lot of out-of-state students who aren't familiar with this area. It's super cool, awesome place. At the UNCG police station, you can get self-defense. You can take self-defense classes that are all free, which is a super cool thing to do. So now that I've talked a lot about security, I wanted to hit on athletics real quick. Here at UNCG, we have over 17 Division I athletic teams. And behind me, you can kind of see some of the fields right here. Behind these buildings we have the tennis courts. We have our soccer field where men and women's soccer play. In addition to that, we have our softball field where our women's softball team plays. In the building next to that is our Fleming Gym, which is where our women's volleyball plays and our women's basketball plays. We have a bunch of other athletic fields like the baseball fields, the recreational fields where all of the club sports, intramural sports they play on. Sometimes even the actual collegiate teams, which are the 17 sports, D1, they actually practice on the recreational field sometimes too. So it's just super cool about athletics. I'm an athlete myself here. I play rugby and I practice on the recreational field. So this is just a little bit about athletics and security. And remember, if you have any questions about anything, please text that and we will be happy to answer. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know you're up here and like, yes, want to know more about UNCG. Let me subscribe. So don't forget to do that. The next stop we're going to do is at the residential hall. See you there.
So we're at Ragsdale Mendenhall Hall, which is a first-year residence hall that is on our campus. We have a couple of different first-year residence hall options, but we're just going to go ahead and take a look inside of that building so you can see what you could possibly be living in once you get here. Who doesn't want to see what they're going to be living in? So come on and follow me. Don't forget your mask. That's up. Hi. So what this is going to be the residence hall, and we always like to talk about security. So Malin went over a lot of security options. And another thing is that when you have your student ID, which is going to look very similar to this right here, except it's not going to say lockout. It's going to say your name, it's going to have a picture on it, and then your door access, so like the residence hall that you're going to be living on, will be go ahead on here. Now, when you come over here, it's going to have this black box. That black box is for security, and it electronically locks and unlocks the door. Now, make sure that you tap into the building. You'll get a nice green light, and that'll go ahead and let you inside. nice refreshing chair in here inside of your residence hall, and you can decorate it any way that you choose. Now, you're kind of looking like, wow, this is decorated really nice. Is all this going to come in my room? No, but I will tell you what will come in your room, and that's going to be this nice dresser here, and it's got some great stuff. Someone's even put a little pledge wipe in there, so you can go ahead and wipe down all of your wooden surfaces inside of your room, because cleaning is all up to you behind that locked door. So you have to make sure that everything inside of your room is a tip-top shape, but everything on the outside of that locked door, we do have some really amazing housing and residence life staff who will take care of all of the cleaning outside of that. Now, also with the dresser that does come standard is going to be the bed and the mattress, and these are lockable beds, so they can go lower than this. They can go a little bit higher than this as well. You also are going to get the chair, and you are going to get your desk. All of that is standard in whatever residence hall that you are living in on our campus. Now, Rexdale Mendenhall is a little newly renovated, so we do have that nice sink right there. So if you need to brush your teeth, wash your face, or go ahead and wash your hands, you can do all of that right inside of here. And right across from that is that lovely thermostat. So that means you and your roommate can decide how hot and how cold you want it inside. And that's just a really great option, especially if you run a little bit hotter and you like your room a little bit colder. Now we do have a walk-in closet for you and your roommate to share. And again, this is different for each residence hall. This is just the options that are going to be located in this residence hall. And if you're like, well, how do I get to see the other residence halls? That's a really great question. We do have a website, the Housing Residence Life website. You can go in there and take a look at all of our different options that UNCG has to offer you as a student who lives on campus. Now, if you're wondering, that's really great. Now, how do I wash my clothes? Oh, that's a great question. We do have laundry rooms either on every floor, every other floor, essentially located in one large laundry room. And again, that's really just dependent on what type of residence hall you're living in. We do have an app that will let you know, like, hey, Serena, I know you're trying to go wash your clothes and you live on the third floor. Well, those washer and dryers are very much occupied. But the fourth floor has some washer and dryers available. Oh, well, I'm just going to take my clothes right up to the fourth floor, and I'm going to go ahead and drop them in the washer and dryer, and I'm perfectly okay. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I'm in the residence hall, who's going to kind of monitor the residence hall? That's a really great question. Each floor has an RA or a resident advisor, and they're going to be on the floor to kind of be your big brother and big sister, but they're also on the floor to make sure that everyone's following the rules and regulations that are put in place by that residence hall. So make sure that you are listening to those rules and regulations and listening to your RA. And your RA is going to be there if you have any questions about anything, or you just need to have a conversation with someone. Because again, we understand college is a really big adjustment. So that's why I put the RA there, to make sure you can go over any of that stuff that's kind of worrying you, or you just want to talk to somebody about, hey, you passed that exam. They're going to be your cheerleader to make sure that you feel really great about what you're doing at our institution. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about the bathrooms. And you're kind of like, okay, well, that's great. Now, since this is a standard double, you do live in this kind of option, and you have hall style bathroom, which means that you will be sharing your bathroom with all of the other males or females that are on your hall. And we are co-ed, but co-ed in the sense that all of one gender is going to be on one side, and then all of the opposite gender will be on the other side. So you will have both options, and that bathroom assigned to that gender will be closer to that majority, and then again on the other opposite side. Oh well. We also have handicap accessible bathrooms, so we do have a little bit of options for everyone who's living inside of our residence hall. Now, I see we do have some questions, so we're going to go ahead and answer those questions for you.
I'm going to ask Serena if you don't mind sitting down. We can go back and forth and answer some of these questions that are coming in.
We will definitely do that.
So I think I'm going to just go ahead and take the first question, which is, what's the benefit of living on UNCG's campus? So honestly, the benefit of you living on UNCG's campus is there's a lot of them. Coming from an out-of-state student and who did live on campus for 2 years, everything I needed was on campus. You know, you've seen the living, the housing, we have athletics. We also have a grocery store on campus that takes flex from your meal plan. You know, you get the swipes for the cafeteria, but you also have flex that for restaurants all over campus and the grocery store. Another thing that just
as another benefit is just, you know, it's very diverse on this campus. And I know that was one of the reasons why I chose here was just the diversity. And I feel like that's a benefit because, you know, as we get older and go into our careers, you know, we're going to be working and we're going to be interacting with a bunch of people that don't look like us or are from different backgrounds. And so going to a school that is like that already is really beneficial, I think. So I hope that answers your question.
Another question is, why did you choose UNCG? And I think that's an awesome question. And I chose UNCG because I came on a tour and I looked around and I said, man, Mom, that dining hall has a lot of food that I like. And she was like, really? And I was like, yes. I was like, it has all the food that I love. And the staff is really, really, really nice. And I came on campus and I really felt welcome. And I know that's a really big thing. Everyone wants to feel welcome. They want to feel like they belong. And when I stepped foot on campus, from the very moment I met my Spartan guide, and she told me about how she just came back from France with a study abroad program, I was sold. I was just like, man, this is really amazing. And again, the food I love to eat. So it had everything that I loved. And then when I got to look at my program and I talked to the admissions counselor and they were kind of breaking down how my program worked, and I was like, I love everything about this program. They're going to help me get an internship. I'm going to be able to get real life experience. And I thought that was just extremely beneficial for me to be able to have that firsthand experience right here built into my major and built into my plan of study. So I didn't even have to worry about that because it was already right there planned out for me. And that was just like, yes, has everything for me. And I felt a sense of belonging. And that's exactly why I chose UNCG.
That was such a good answer. I'm sorry. That was just so nice.
There's another question here. And that question is, how have you met UNCG your home? And again, I was saying, when I came over here, I wanted a sense of belonging. And as soon as I got on campus, I found that belonging. And I had a really, really great interview with this lady named Katie. And she works in the admissions office. And she sat down and she was just really nice. And I had a complete conversation with her about Spartan Guide. And that was a really great way for me to, one, learn the campus. And it was a really great way for me to go ahead and meet other people. And I met people, I met friends, I have really, really great supervisors. And then that also brought me into one of the on-campus organizations that I'm in, and I get to plan homecoming, and I got to plan Winterfest, and it's going to be just really amazing. And I just felt a sense of belonging in every office and every club that I joined. And that's exactly how I made it my home. I just went ahead and just kept reaching out and kept making connections. And the more connections you make, the more connected you feel to the campus. And then next thing you know, you're saying, hey, I'm going home. And you're actually going to your residence hall. And you think of your residence hall as your home. And that's when you know you found the right place for you. Maitland, how'd you make UNCG your home?
Well, I don't know how to follow back to that because everything Serena just said was really great. But how I made UNCG my home is honestly, just to add on to what Serena said about people being so nice here, you know, I am not from North Carolina, so I grew up mostly up north. So coming down here, I was like, oh, okay, everyone's that little southernness. Okay, everyone's nice. All the people are really friendly, you know. All the faculty, staff, and students are very, they're very motivational. They're very supportive of the students. And, that really just resonated with me. I loved being around that energy. And it just, no matter who you are, they're always pushing. Like I said, other than being a Spartan Guide, I do work in our Elliott University Center and our Office of Leadership and Civic Engagement. And throughout my time working there, I'm a junior now, I've been working there since freshman year. And aside from the work I do there, they also help me better prepare in my life. I've worked on resumes with my boss. I've worked on just, student development, employee development with her and with him. And they're just pushing me for after UNCG. So they're not just focused on, you and now, they're focused on you now and you later, forever. So that really resonated with me. And that's just, I feel like I'm at home because I'm around so many, really nice, friendly people. That is all the questions that we had so far. If you do have any more, please ask. But we're about to go to our next stop, or not.
So we've actually had a really great time walking around our campus. We hope that you loved our campus and you love it as much as we love our campus. And you're going ahead right now and writing that essay to go ahead and put into your application so that you can become a Spartan. And if you have any questions please feel free to go ahead and DM our Instagram so that one of our admissions counselors can go ahead and maybe shoot you an email back and go ahead and answer that question that we weren't able to answer on here. Or text us and we will be able to answer those questions. We're so grateful that you decided to take a little time out of your night to walk around with me and Maitland. Well, that is going to be the end. I have an exam tomorrow, so have a great day.
Have a great day.